For some reason, it always gets around to that time of the year where you're supposed to hand over your hard-earned cash to the Lord Gaben. And, yeah, and I've never really made a big deal of it on this channel, but I thought, hey, there's about 7 days left of the Steam Summer Sale, and I've put together some pretty good, I would say these are pretty good games. Now, because this is a channel that mostly based on historical setting, these are all historical games, whether they're based on historical characters or based in just a historical time period. I have tried to put together 10 games that I think are definitely worth picking up in the Steam Summer Sale. So without further ado, this is in no particular order, other than the order that I remembered them in. Welcome to Top 10 Historical Games you should pick up in the Steam Summer Sale. First off, I think it's safe to say that the Witcher game series is one of the most popular series, with Cyberpunk coming out in the next couple of years, with CD Projekt Red known for their great storytelling and character development. Witcher 3 is no exception to that rule, and the Game of the Year edition, which includes all the DLC, is now 60% off, and for the amount of content you get in that game, it's absolutely incredible. And it's £14, which is probably about $16, $17. So you might as well pick this goddamn thing up. Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition, including all the DLC. I would definitely go and check that out if you haven't already, or even if you've played it before but you've never played any of the DLCs, maybe go and check out the DLCs because they're definitely on sale as well. Next in spot is a game that I've done a bit on the channel. Well, I say a bit, quite a lot on the channel. And this is Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, it came on February the 18th, I think was the release date. Or was it the 13th? I think it might have been the 13th of February. So it's pretty recent. It's probably the most recent game on this list. So there's not a massive discount on it. It's 30% off, which I think is still a great price. It's £27.99. Now, it's still a little bit pricey if you're wanting to get those cheap summer sale, but it's a game that I think everyone that likes this genre definitely needs to pick up because it goes in a different direction to games that haven't really done before, in more of a intense, realistic way, but while still keeping a focus on one character in particular, rather than just having customization such as Skyrim where you can pick everyone. This is more intimate and personal with the character development and the story, rather than just the cool gameplay and the quests that you do in a game such as Skyrim. So Kingdom Come Deliverance is 30% off on Steam Summer Sale. Yeah, still a little bit pricey, but I would say it's definitely worth it if you haven't picked it up already, and especially because the From the Ashes DLC will be coming out very, very soon, and hardcore mode has just been released for this game, so I would definitely pick that up if I were you. Now, the Sniper Elite games are interesting ones. I never played the first one. I played 2 and 3. I've not played the 4th one, but I feel like it looks quite similar to 3. But the Sniper Elite games are good, fun games. You're not going to get a really cool story out of them, but you're going to be able to shoot Hitler in his testicles. So, I mean, I think that sells the game itself. The Sniper Elite Complete Pack, which is all the Sniper Elite games. So, you know, you're getting a pretty good deal for £20, which is an absolutely incredible deal, actually, for all 4 games. I think 2 and 3 on their own, so I think Sniper Elite 2 is about £4 and Sniper Elite 3 is like £4.99 or something like that. And for Sniper Elite 4, I think it's about £11 on its own, but if you want them all, including 1, then it's £20 for all of them. And they're good fun games. Don't go into it expecting an intense story and things like that. It's not really based around that. It's about the mechanics, the gameplay, the cool slow motion sniping, but it's definitely a game that I think everyone needs to have a bit of fun in sometime in their life. Now, this is probably one of the biggest sales that I've seen, and I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous if you don't take advantage of this one. Mount and Blade Warband is a game that came out in 2010. Yes, it's quite a while ago. We're still waiting for the aforementioned Bannerlord 6 years after its announcement. But nonetheless, if you haven't picked up Mount and Blade Warband so far, what are you doing? It's a game that will get you incredibly addicted. It goes into sort of the RPG style, but you're commanding a whole army, and you have to look after your economy, you have to look after your army, you have to get your relations with lords and ladies and get married and things like that. And there's also a multiplayer player base, which somehow still goes with the Napoleonic Wars DLC and all that good stuff. So that's 75% off, £3.74, about $5 for Mount and Blade Warband, which is an incredible deal. And if you want to spend a couple more pounds, for £8.74 is every single Mount and Blade game. So that includes the first one and Warband with all the DLCs, with Fire and Sword, with the Napoleonic Wars and the Viking Conquest DLC. So if you haven't got it already, what are you doing? And if you don't have the DLCs, definitely go and pick them up. The Napoleonic Wars DLC is great for multiplayer gameplay, and the Viking Conquest DLC, I would say, has a really good storyline in its single player and does something a bit different from the original Warband based single player. Now, Paradox are bringing out Imperator Raymond pretty soon, and if that looks like it's a game that you might be interested in, I would definitely recommend brushing up on some of your Paradox games that they've already released, because they're very different games. They're strategy games, but they're more on the in-depth detail. They're pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not great at them. If anyone's seen my Hearts of Iron 4 streams, it's a bit embarrassing, but I am learning, and there definitely is a learning curve for each of their games. But Hearts of Iron 4, I would say, is one of their best so far. Set in World War II, you can choose your country, you have to work with your politics, with the way your country goes, you have to work with who you're going to have alliances with and who you're going to invade. But nonetheless, Hearts of Iron 4 is 60% off at £14. It's definitely a steal in the Steam summer sale. And I'm just going to say this now, because it's a bit sad that I have to say this, because a lot of YouTubers don't disclose if they're doing a sponsorship, which means that there'll probably be some comments saying, are you being sponsored to do this? No, I am not. If I said I'm not being sponsored, or if I didn't mention it and I was, that would technically be illegal, so I won't do that. And it's sad I have to say that, because I know you guys need to be able to trust YouTubers, and a lot of people do sponsored content and don't say it, which is why people are a bit curious. But yeah, this is not a sponsored video. This just came to me, that's why it's randomly chucked in the middle. But yeah, thank you guys, I love you. Men of War is a great strategy game, I would say. Along with the earlier Total War games, Men of War is probably one of my favourite strategy games, and Assault Squad 2 is the latest in the franchise, and I would say, I don't want to say the best, but it's up there. I absolutely love the gameplay of that game. It's a very more micromanaged World War II strategy games. It's not really basing on the full wider pitch like the Total War games, where you have thousands of soldiers on the battlefield. It's more squad based and using tanks and armor and artillery and all that good stuff. It's still got a big multiplayer player base, so I've not really had any issues finding games. Lots of mods on it as well, but it is 80% off at £3.99. If you've never played a Men of War game, definitely pick it up. And if you do, come on my Discord, link down in the description, and send me a DM, because I need people to play with, because no one plays that game with me. Now here's a bit of a weird one. I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago, and this was for a sponsored thing for this game, but I never heard of the game, but I thought it looked interesting, so I took up the deal, and I did it all, and I fell in love with this game. So I'm going to put this game on the list, even though this is not, like I said, it's not sponsored. I'm going to put this game on the list, and this is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. This game is absolutely incredible. It's completely single player. My god, it is gorgeous as well, the graphics in this game as well. But it does something very different. It's based in Viking mythology, and all this time you're going through the missions, you're going through there's many puzzles, you do a lot of fighting, the fighting is pretty badass, and you have voices in your head all the time giving you tips, or sometimes trying to stray you in the wrong direction. But my god, it is an absolutely brilliant game. It's something that you can only experience yourself. Me just talking about it does not do it any justice. But since it's only £14.99, 40% off, please go and pick this game up. It is incredible. It looks a bit strange, but once you get into it and once you understand where the game is going, you will not have played anything like this. I can't sing my praises highly enough for this game. So that's Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Here's a weird one. I did a video on this maybe a year and a half ago now, and this is Field of Glory 2. It's Total War crossed with chess. It's a turn-based strategy game, and you command the Roman legions, or you command the tribes of Britannia, Germania, and etc. But it does something quite different. It's a more slow-paced game, but you have to think about where you're going, how the enemy and the AI, which is actually pretty good if I say myself, is going to do their next move, and you have to take out the enemy battlefields. You have to be able to use your terrain to your advantage, hiding people in forests or on hills, archers and artillery and cavalry, using a mix of them or going more towards one side depending on what strategy you want. Field of Glory 2 is a bit of a different strategy game, but I think it works very well for this time era, and it's set in ancient Rome, and I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous, especially because there's Romans and they've got big shields and stabby people. So Field of Glory 2 is 34% off at £15.70. Now Black Quake, I think I made one video on this in the past. You'll probably seen a lot of videos when it first came out. This is a pirate ship game. You play as pirates, or you can play as other guys, and you basically, it's a fully multiplayer. You have to load your cannons, you have to fire your cannons at people, you've got to repair your ship, you can board people with your pistols, you have a captain telling you what to do, you can climb the rigging, get on top, look out for enemies. And this game came in a while ago, and I thought it was dead. So I went on the other day, I was like, this game's probably pretty dead, let me just check. There was about 6 or 7 servers that had about 54 players each. The servers hold about 54 players, so they're all full. They're completely full, and there was about 6 ships on each side, absolutely hammering each other. That's what made me put it on, because after all this time, I thought this game was dead, because I hadn't looked at it in a while. But it has a massive player base. Blackwake is an incredible game if you want to play it with your friends, or if you just want to meet people in multiplayer. It's 50% off at £7.49. And finally, what do we have at the end of the list? Now, this is the second PC game I ever played, the first being the first in this series. This is Age of Empires 2 HD Edition, and this game is incredible. If you haven't played it yet, I have no idea where you've been. It is a PC player strategist must game. It is the granddaddy of all RTSs. 80% off, £2.99. Age of Empires 2 HD, £2.99. That's about $3 or $4. Like, come on, you know a good deal when you see one. You just need this game. I absolutely adore Age of Empires 2, not just for the nostalgia, but for how it's still going on and still doesn't age. It's a timeless game for me, and I know Age of Empires 4 is coming up, and I'm a bit worried about it, but you know, it is what it is, and we'll still have Age of Empires 2 if everything goes to shit. But thank you guys for watching. I hope some of these games have spiked your interest. And like I said, I'm not benefiting anything off this other than, you know, you guys actually watching the video, and if you like it, then liking it. I just thought I'd put these games together so you guys can have a nice list of some games if you've not seen them before, maybe not heard of them. There might be some games that you've already had, but there might be some games you haven't. And if there's some that you thought looked interesting and you got to pick up, leave it in the comments. I want to see if I'm not a completely useless blathering idiot. Which I know I am, but, you know, I want you to make me feel better about myself. But thank you guys for watching, and until then, I will see you in the next one.